What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with another smartphone couch video. Finally. Check out the Nice Guys and Players audiobooks on Vimeo. I finally got around to it. Ironically, I did like some the same style like on my Rom TV, but just not with Nice Guys and Players. And you know what? Hey, I finally got around to it. Now, notice I said books. Not just book, but books. Because there's two versions. One is just a regular read, just like any other audio book. And then the second one's a regular read, but with background music. So, and at first I was just going to do the background music one, but I said, nah, some people might not want the music. So, okay, I give you two versions. So there's links to both in the description box. And it's been a while because people have been saying, hey, you got your book on audio? You got your book on Audible? And I'm like, no, I can get around to it. Because, look, just be clear, people don't know how busy I stay. People don't know. People see like a 15-minute video, but they don't see everything else. Now, I'm only working so many hours in a day, but if 20 to 25 hours a week. But remember, I'm big on doing other things. I'm big on doing other things and working on projects, really spending time with my sons, because I told y'all that's my main thing. But I finally got around to it. Finally had a place I could actually record. Just an environment I could properly record in, because you know how that go. And even then, I might do a future version in a professional studio. But whatever the case, it's finally here. And as I'm going through the book, reading it, I wouldn't change anything. I really wouldn't. Change anything. The general principles are still the same. Everything that worked back in 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010 is still the same thing. And it's not just body game. In fact, body game, everybody knows me for body game, but you might have a page and a half talking about the body. Seriously, that's not the main thing. It's an overall holistic thing. When you're dealing with women, they look at the entire package. They ain't just looking at your physicality. See, you got a lot of people thinking this physicality is very important. That's the initial bait, and then how you dress, but then you still got to talk to them. And then even when they're looking at your physicality, they looking at how you walk, your posture. They trying to get a vibe off of you. How you making them feel with your behavior. So, and I discuss all of that. And, there's some important parts, of course, like one of the best parts, and it's ironic, nobody's really talked about that part. And maybe I need to check my reviews to see if somebody talked about the part on understanding women. In that chapter right there, it gives you everything. If you just figure out just that chapter, just study that chapter, pay attention, learn women, that'll take you further than a lot of stuff. Understand who you trying to deal with. And then, I get into other stuff. I get into spirituality because, a lot of times we don't talk about it, but that has a profound effect on how we even deal with women, because we're going to deal with them according to whatever spiritual path we follow. And then I even talk about business. I say I recommend every man start a business, even if he got a 6-figure job, has something on the side he controls. And see, because the thing is, everything's holistic. And especially when I talk the chapter on sexual chemistry, everything is holistic. A lot of guys think if they got one thing, that's all they need. It's like, it might be like a bait, but you got to have more. Like, you got a lot of guys say, oh, it's just face. Okay, but what if a woman likes your face, but you come off as effeminate to her? Or you come off as insecure to her? Or you got a naturally handsome face, but you don't groom yourself well. You got a body odor. Seriously, all that people say it, that's ignorant to say it's just one thing. Women will deal with somebody, they think he fine, he might have a conversation, but they get close enough, smell his breath. So I mean, and people say, "Oh, that's basic." No, it ain't. No, it ain't for one reason. A lot of guys don't do those little things. And as you read it, it gets into it. As you read it, it's a lot of other stuff. But it's a package. And, me, this was even before I learned about the house of the man. I wrote this way before I even had a concept of that, but I just knew a man has to present his best package all the way around. And that's what nice guys and players do. So, a lot of people have read it, but, I know some people busy, got some truck drivers, they might just need something to listen to while they driving. A lot of truck drivers in this space, which is a good job. Truck drivers need to be respected. Just let me go on a tangent real quick. Anybody got a problem with truck drivers, you got a problem with me. I don't drive, but they can shut down the nation. A truck driver strike shut down the nation. Yeah, I talked about that on my business channel. But, or it could be somebody, you might be working on something. You might want, something to do. You might not want to listen to the propaganda out here. Oh, I mean, people call it news. That's out here. And, and you seriously into self-improvement. Let me talk about that part. Because ultimately you got some people who talk against self-improvement. I don't know why. Because that's actually $1 million industry. And it's not like fake. I mean, who's going to improve you? Because unless you making a ton of money, like enough to take care of all your bills, to live in the neighborhood you want to live in, unless you have the relationships you want, unless your health is perfect, you always got something to improve. And that's the main thing, because a lot of people have read the book, actually, and they said, yeah, you start off talking about getting women, but then you take it to another level. And, at some point, I'm going to do sexual chemistry on Audiobook. And also on a version that could be sold on Amazon as well. But, it's so much to do. And then, I gotta give time to my sons. Because ultimately, my thing is, people don't realize how much I'm really about family. So, any man, and you know how I feel about any man who don't take care of his seeds, even if they ain't married to the mother. You take care of your seeds. I have no respect for men who don't. So, I can't say it like that and then don't give a great amount of time to my sons. But whatever the case, and let me say one final thing. Nice guys and players ain't necessarily about being a player. Anybody who's read it, it's really about just being the best man you can be. And if you want to marry, fine. If you just want to just deal with more quality women, fine. But it's all about developing yourself so you can have the options to do the things that you really want to do. That's all it is. Seriously, being the best version of yourself. Because it comes down to, or for the women who want to, you want to attract, they got two general needs. They got the sexual needs, but they got the emotional needs. The nice guy takes care of the emotional needs. The player takes care of the sexual needs. If you truly have both of them, you always get a woman. But then it's on another level. This is putting the women to the side. If you want to succeed in life, the more skill sets that you have, the better. Because the sexual aspect, the sexual energy, that can keep you empowered to do, go out and do stuff. It'll make you aggressive. It'll, you'll take risk. You can really get a business going. You'll have that vitality on any type of job, whether it's in an office or whether it's in a warehouse. But then the emotional part, you still got to deal with people. Like I've always said, like a player, there's no excuse for a player not to have money because what are they doing? They interacting with women. If you can interact with women, you can interact with people for business or even on just a job. So it's about just life, period. So the links up for both versions, the regular version and the musical background version, are in are in the description box. So definitely check it out. And as I've been saying, and at some point I'm gonna get t-shirts to say it, keep rising.